Okay, got what we need. Since this is the last to do, I don't need to worry about that list anymore. CM, voicer, classes, M, and sign block.m. Alright, so this thing is medium long. The draw self call is the main thing. Alright, we'll need all of these. These are general, very general purpose. Oops. Maybe change sign text to voice text. Then we take these guys and those guys. And we put there. How's that? Now we have to change, look for sign, change sign to voice. I'm going to leave the ones that say sign sound for a little while. Ah, that's hard. Yeah, copy and replace is a little tricky here. Okay, the other one is SIN. Yeah, actually use the sinusoids, the sine method, sine routines to generate the textures. And for now, I'll just leave it. Now, it'd be nice to just mess around with it a little bit, so there's some color. We don't need to do anything meaningful. We can just change this to like 5. This is like almost a pseudo-random dice call. So I'm going to change this to, yeah, 5 and 3, and that's all for now. It should look a little bit different. I can also change the color. No, I'm not going to deal with that at all. Alright. So now we've got a clone class. I call them clone classes. At the same level of hierarchy that does the same thing. What we want to change is the sign sound into a buffer sound. And you can see there's this method, make bounce sound. And there's another whole bunch of other objects. Besides the filter entities, there are filter sounds. These are audio classes that just define how to play a type of sound. And these sounds get sent to the filter audio mixer, which is used in the callback. So let me take out my face. We don't need that anymore. Get sounds by entity self. What does that mean? Oh, okay. So it probably keeps track of if an entity has made sounds, and if it has, we don't want it making too many sounds at once. So cancel the last one or something. What we got here is make bounce sound. We essentially have to create a new filter sound before we can do anything. So we'll put voice entity on hold for a while, and let's look at sine sound. So the definition, all it has is phase. I mean, that's not very surprising. There's not much behind a sine sound and the audio callback. This probably gets called directly, well, either in its own thread or in the callback. In any case, it should be moved to its own thread to be rendered for the callback ahead of time. Okay, so write buffer. Yeah, it looks like there's not much in this class, right? Look how small that is. But the one we're about to write is going to be a bit more complicated. We're going to need some extra things to keep track of buffers. And I think we're about ready to do that, so I'm going to go and create the classes in this guy. Those classes will be called they can be just, I'm starting to think they shouldn't be Objective-C classes. And I should convert all of them to C++. I really don't know yet. Yeah, I really don't know. Anyway, let's just, for now, let's stick with the pattern. And this is going to be called buffer sound. I could call it input buffer sound. And I probably should, because our buffers are input buffers. There's a special structure for that. And there's no such thing as an output buffer sound. And all things have buffers, so this will clear up some confusion. I'm going to put it in there. This is where sine sound is. Alright. So .h. There's not so much to this class. We are going to need some vector. Yeah, I think we want, oh crap, this might need to be mm. And if this is mm, I can't include this header in any Objective-C files. This is starting to get crappy. What is the path of least resistance when I'm in a situation like this? Let's get lazy, man. Input buffer sound. I got a bunch of input buffers which are C structs. I can't use a vector. Changing this to a mm won't help me out. Least hacky lazy thing to do is actually, I'm not sure if anything I said is true. because I'm going to take a tangent here and do some Googling that I want to do. What was I going to type? Can you include C++ header in obj_c? I think stuff like this can kill a lot of your time, so I'm only going to spend 3 minutes on it. Once that clock hits 5:47, I'm punching out. Okay, I'm punching out because that loading Google page is not working. I'm just going to use the Objective-C mutable array. It feels a little crappy to do that, but it's not a big deal. Only problem with that is you have to init and de-init that. And this should be filter sound. Yeah. And we will need this call. You know what? Maybe I should just change everything to C++ right here. What do you think? Yeah. I have to do this at some point. I could change all extensions to MM. That would fix my problem. That is the simplest solution if I want to use vectors. And then the changes from C++ isn't that bad. Objective-C dispatch, message dispatch. Efficiency. Okay. Alright. I'm just going to change everything to MM. I'm going to close this down.